Today is April 1st, 2025.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And happy April Fools to you.
Happy April Fools, Gary. And I will say the weather today feels like an April Fool's joke. It was 60s yesterday.
I know.
Windows down on the ride home from work, but today maybe not so much of those windows down. It's a little cooler.
Yeah, cool
there.
this morning.
A look at the current conditions. First off, the radar, because some of you this morning might actually be waking up to a round of flurries, an ice flurry mixture, or just drizzle, as the backside of this cold front that moved through yesterday is dragging in some cold Canadian air from the northwest, of course, over Lake Ontario. And why wouldn't Lake Ontario give us some lake effect in April? So happy April 1st, everyone. But besides that, though, things do eventually dry out throughout the day today. That's not going to last all too long. Downtown Utica live view in between those lake effect bands. It's actually pretty dry out. You can see some of those bands reported with some snow in Rochester, Syracuse, and in Ithaca. But here locally, those clouds and flurries end and sunshine moves in, although it's a colder sunshine with highs only in the upper 30s and wind chills likely on the cooler side as well. So beyond today, we are looking at an overall cooling pattern as we head into the first week, maybe in first couple weeks of April, but we'll talk about a few warmer days here and there coming up in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks, and don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Well, 3 students up north.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back, everyone, on to Sunrise. Time now is 5:14 on this April 1st, and today, well, waking up a lot cooler than yesterday. We are also tracking some bands of lake effect, believe it or not. Yes, we're in April, still seeing that, but you can see here some area roadways looking clear. However, as you head closer to, say, Bridgewater, Route 20, that's where we're looking at another one of those bands of lake effect. So the traffic tracker right now, a lot of green, but still we've got some slowdowns here along Route 20 to the south. In fact, let's look at the radar right now. I'm going to zoom into a spot up here. It's a very, very narrow band, but it's right in between Trenton and Rome as you head along Route 365, Route 46, of course, heading just north of the Mohawk Valley and including just outside in central Herkimer County, heading just south of Little Falls right there. You can see that band as well. Secondly, that band is also moving through parts of, say, Waterville, just north of Sangerfield in that Route 20 intersection right there. So again, today, you're going to be dodging that lake effect snow band early this morning, but it does end. We'll see that sunshine move in, although it doesn't warm up all too much with highs only in the 30s. Gary?
Snow on April 1st.
I can't believe it.
No joke. No joke. Eric, thanks. Spring is underway, and
before they go, the Storm Tracker 2 bus stop forecast.
The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone. On this Tuesday, April 1st, we are talking about a cool start as well as some spots waking up to some lake effects. Take a look at downtown Utica right now, where it is dry in the city. However, there are some low-lying clouds early this morning. Temperature officially 34 at Griffiths and Rome. A decent westerly wind of 15 miles an hour, so it feels like 24 chilly degrees out there early this morning. And the radar, again, picking up on some of that lake effect. This band actually could make its way to North Utica and Deerfield. And for right now, it doesn't appear to move farther south, but this could be cutting it close directly into the city of Utica. But it just has passed through parts of the Mohawk Valley, Little Falls, Mohawk, Ilion, those locations as well, waking up to that band. Zooming out, this is in the wake of that cold front, that massive cold front that rolled through yesterday. This activity, though, does wind down this morning, so it's not an all-day long event. And as we are officially in April now, I want to talk about some changing weather conditions between the 1st and the 30th. Our average high goes from 47 to a balmy 61 degrees by the end of the month. Average low 30 to 41. Daylight times, at least sunrise and sunset times, 6:42. That sunrise goes to before 6 a.m. Great news for those of you who are early risers. Then 7:27 sunset, post 8 p.m. sunset by the end of the month. So great news along that front as well. Overall, we gain an hour and 21 minutes of additional daylight this month. A little less than March, but still a very sharp increase in daylight through the entire next 30 days. Unfortunately, though, it does come with a drawback, at least weather-wise. The cold weather, or at least cooler than average weather, isn't really going away anytime soon. I wouldn't tell you guys to put away your snow brushes or even snow shovels just yet. The overall pattern does indicate a potential for snow here and there. I don't think it's nearly on the level of plowable snow, but just a reminder, we are in April. I wouldn't feel confident saying to put those snow brushes and snow shovels away, at least until we see this pattern produce anything a bit more on the warmer side. So for now, expect a cooler than average start to your April. So today, our skycast showing those clouds and drizzle and snow showers ending. Sunshine this afternoon, but windy conditions expected. Then tonight, a few passing clouds increase with overnight lows in the 20s. Tomorrow, partly sunny to mostly cloudy, highs in the 30s and 40s. And then as we head into Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, we'll see the arrival of widespread rain move in. And then by Thursday, we start out with some patchy rain showers and then the potential for a line of thunderstorms rolling through in the evening. And so, your 7-day forecast. You've got highs in the 60s on Thursday, our warmest day of the week, before we cool back down into the 50s by Friday with some sunshine. And overall, the weekend looking rather unsettled and a bit on the rainy side. We'll be right back.
In full swing, severe storms can happen fast, so stay on top of ever-changing winter weather with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis and meteorologists Eric Gage and James DeFazio. Tune in for up-to-the-second information that you need to keep your family safe and informed. With our experienced Storm Tracker 2 team, you'll get information that's accurate, dependable, and easy to understand. And don't forget to download the WKTV weather app and stay safe and informed on the go. The WKTV Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms.
Know before they go. The Storm Tracker 2 Bus Stop forecast.
Where the news. Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And that band is pretty long, but it should go by quickly, right?
Yeah, this morning is really the only time it affects us. It does end later on, and we'll see sunshine as well this afternoon, although maybe some cold sunshine. But yeah, so look at the radar right now. We'll see where that lake effect band is moving through the area, and it is slowly moving its way south. We actually have a few of them, but the most notable one is just north of Rome. Let's zoom in here. In fact, it's just south of Western, just north of Lake Delta, and it'll head through north of Marcy, just into parts of Deerfield, at least North Deerfield, through Schuyler and into Herkimer as we speak. So zooming out again, we've got that snow band passing through much of the local area, as well as one that's moving through, say, the border of Madison and Oneida County as we speak. So that's the weather we're experiencing early this morning, but not everyone is experiencing it. For example, downtown Utica, it looks mainly dry. Some other stations across the state reporting snow showers from that lake effect, but again, that doesn't last all day. It ends later on this morning. Clouds give way to sunshine this afternoon with high temperatures only in the 30s. So it's a cooler and windy day for your first day of April, but we are expecting maybe a warmer day here and there. We'll talk about that, plus that overall temperature trend heading into April in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks, and don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away each morning. Business
Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery in Delhi.
The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everyone. On this first day of April, our photo of the day today takes us to Seneca River in Baldwinsville. An amazing shot here of that sunrise taken by Yvette. An amazing photo taken right here before the morning rain moved in. There were some glimpses of some clear skies before it moved in as well. So amazing photo submitted to us as well. We're going to be showing some flower photos later on this week. We got great submissions for that. So if you are seeing some flowers bloom, I know I have seen some daffodils trying to bloom. That cold weather really has been laying a toll on some of those flowers, but still daffodils, even crocuses, other flowers as well. Feel free to submit them to wktv.com/weather/pics as we share all the amazing spring photos you send with us here at News Channel 2 at sunrise. Gary?
Eric, thanks. You know that teacher who really impacted your life? Well,
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone. Time now 5:49, and early today on this April 1st, we are tracking some lake effect. Current conditions outside right now, a live look at downtown Utica. Things so far looking quiet, officially 34 with cloudy skies in Rome. That wind, though, bringing those feels-like temperatures down to the mid-20s. And although Utica is dry, other spots not so much, especially in the areas of Herkimer and Mohawk, in the Mohawk Valley. There's that lake effect band. It's very narrow, but it's still producing some pockets of sleety snow as it passes through the region. So an early heads up this morning, you're not encountering a completely dry commute if you're heading through this very narrow band of snow or sleety snow. This is all driven by that cold front that moved through yesterday, and we're in the wake of that cooler weather, but this snow doesn't last too long. The sun does move in this afternoon and weather looks to dry up. And while we are in the first days of April, I want to share with you guys the upcoming changes this month here across between the 1st and the 30th. First off, look at this. Our average high this month goes from 47 to 61. Very warm to end the month. 30 to 41 the average low. Daylight time, or at least sunrise and sunset times, going from a 6:42 a.m. sunrise to a pre-6 a.m. sunrise by the 30th. Great for those early risers, but also for those late risers. How about this? Have any plans in the evening? That sunset takes place after 8 p.m. by the end of the month, so great news along that front. Overall, we gain an hour and 21 minutes of daylight, 8 or 7 minutes shy of March's daylight gains, but still it's pretty significant when it comes to the amount of sunlight that will increase throughout the next 30 days. But as we turn the page weather-wise into April, we're still not done with cooler than average weather or even snow just yet. So don't put away those snow brushes or snow shovels. We're not, of course, forecasting anything in the short range that indicates anything like this, but the overall pattern brings cooler weather and the potential for snow for the next 8 to 14 days here and there. So just a heads up that we're not done with winter just yet. Our Skycast showing cooler temperatures today, plenty of sun. Tonight, clouds roll in, overnight lows in the 20s. Tomorrow, partly sunny to mostly cloudy, dry weather until the evening when some widespread rain moves in. That'll set the stage for a warmer day for your Thursday, but as we head into the evening, there's a potential for a round of thunderstorms rolling through by 5 or so p.m. So your 7-day forecast, we've got a pretty roller coaster stretch of weather the next few days. 60s on Thursday, 50s and 40s heading into the weekend with rain moving in Saturday and Sunday. But for now, sunshine moves in later on this afternoon. We'll look forward to that.
definitely will. Eric, thanks. Well, a local girls hockey team, April 1st, 2025.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And happy April out there. A lot of folks glad March is behind us, but April seems similar to what we had all month long.
Yeah, and I know it's difficult to not want to put an April Fool's joke in here and say, here we are, it's April and it's cold out, but it's April and it's cold out, and that's not an April Fool's joke. So, but this morning we are looking at some lake effect snow bands So again, this is something that Mother Nature decided to throw our way in the wake of this cold front we saw yesterday. You can see the remnants of it on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We can see it passing just over Lake Delta, north of German Flats, through Herkimer, south of Little Falls, and in parts of North Utica as we speak, right north of the Thruway in Schuyler. So just a heads up this morning, we've got a couple of these bands here, but the good news is they do wind down this morning. So not in the snow band is in Utica. We're taking a live view out there right now where still a few low-lying clouds and areas to the west reporting some snow showers on those weather stations. So early today, expect some on and off snow with some of those snow bands, but that does end and we'll see sunshine this afternoon, although a cool sunshine. High temperatures only in the 30s with a blustery wind as well. Will this stick around for the next few days? Will we see a warm up or will we see more of this cooler trend? We'll have a look at how April shapes up coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. 3 students up north.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this April 1st. Time now is 6:12, and unfortunately, what is going on this morning with lake effect snow isn't really an April Fool's joke. Yes, it is taking place in parts of our area early this morning. A look outside on some area traffic cameras. Roads a little damp, especially in Herkimer and in Bridgewater. These are 2 spots where that band has rolled through this morning, at least even recently. Roads a little more dry in New Hartford and in Boonville as we speak. Now, the roadways aren't really affected by this all too much. Yes, it is snowing in some spots, but it isn't really sticking to the ground. Winds are too strong, and just overall, the snow is more on the sleety side. But as you look at the radar, we can see some of these bands here. In fact, here's one of them that passed, I would say, just through Herkimer about an hour or so ago. It's now just in between Herkimer and German Flats. And then a second one right along the Madison-Oneida County line, which is continuing through Sangerfield and into almost entirely Madison County and in Otsego County. So for today, you might be dodging 1 or 2 of these bands this morning, but it's temporary. This afternoon, we'll see plenty of sunshine, although cool and windy conditions. But overall, dry weather is expected as you head home from work. Gary?
Thanks. Spring is underway, and if a runny nose and itch...
Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms. Don't let the weather spoil your day. Watch for the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast and be ready for your drive to and from work. The Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast is brought to you by the Pratt Munson College of Art and Design. Visit Pratt Munson today and ignite curiosity and creativity.
Know before they go. The Storm Tracker 2 Bust Up forecast.
The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, on this Tuesday. Happy April 1st. And today, well, it's shaping up to be a cooler one and a windier one. In fact, this morning, some lake effect snow bands already pushing through the area. Downtown Utica, live view right now. It's not snowing in the city. These snow bands are extremely narrow and only impacting parts of our region early today, but still, you might encounter it on your morning commute if you're both heading north and or south of the Mohawk Valley. Current conditions, 33 at Griffiths and Rome. Still a decent wind of 16 miles an hour from the west-northwest. So that feels like temperatures sitting in the 20s. It's a cool day today. One of those mornings you definitely want to bundle up a little bit. And the radar right now is still looking a bit on the busy side. We've got some of these snow bands moving through parts of the region as we speak. Again, they're very narrow, and as we head throughout the day today, this will eventually taper off, as this is just the side effect of a cold front moving through our region, and we're going to see that backside wind carry some of that cold air over those warm lake waters. But again, this does end as high pressure begins to move in early this morning. So, as we turn the page to April, how does this weather change between now and the 30th? Well, warmer weather expected by the end of the month, or at least on average, with highs in the low 60s. and the average low sitting at 41 degrees. When it comes to daylight or the sunrise and sunset times, we go from a 6:42 sunrise this morning to a 5:55 in the morning sunrise on the 30th. And sunset times, those of you who love having more daylight for the evening, going to a post 8 p.m. sunset to wrap up the month. So great news along that front. We overall gain an hour and 21 minutes of daylight. Not nearly as much, about 7 minutes shy of March's daylight that's gained, but still, this is quite a lot of daylight gained in just 30 days. So good news along that front for those of you who wish to see at least a lot more sun. Well, as we head into April, the overall trend is pointing toward a cooler than average start, at least in the 6 to 12 day range and the 8 to 14 day range. You can see here, we've got that cooler than average pattern. That means it's not going to be extremely cold, like back to winter again, but still we can't rule out snow chances in the near term. So just a heads up, I don't think it's quite time to put away the snow brush or even snow shovel just yet. If you haven't taken off those snow tires, I would still leave them on for now. Of course, it's very unlikely for it to happen, but still, a few years ago we had that April snowstorm. We were well caught off guard with some of that late season snow. But still, today we've got that cloud cover ending, sunshine moving in, high temperatures in the 30s. By tonight, clouds move in, overnight lows in the 20s. Tomorrow, it's a quiet day for the most part, clouds increase, and then by the evening, we'll see the arrival of rain showers, potentially a wintry mix in the Adirondack Park. Then following that, we'll see some scattered showers Thursday, a warmer than average trend followed by a round of potential thunderstorms heading into the evening. So, your 7-day forecast, warmest day of the next 7 looks to be on Thursday. Looking to early April, it appears we're in the 40s, 50s, and overall a cooler pattern and potentially unsettled pattern ahead. But overall, at least focusing the near term today, sunshine moves in the afternoon.
And look at Friday, maybe the pick of the week.
Yes, might be just that as well.
Eric, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us.
2025.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And it is no joke. There are some snow bands coming down. One very long one, right?
Yeah, going through pretty much all of the Mohawk Valley and then exiting near the capital region. It's a pretty long band. Very narrow, though. In fact, let's look at that on the radar right now. It's spanning potentially maybe a mile or so wide. It's starting to weaken a little bit. It was stronger this morning. Matter of fact, I'll put a 1 hour loop on the radar so you can see the general trend of where it is. And in fact, you can see the overall outline going from here north of Rome through the Mohawk Valley and again just south of the capital region earlier today. Now zooming in, it's actually in North Rome as we speak, near the airport and of course in parts of Marcy, north of Maynard, and of course in parts of Deerfield as we speak. Of course, moving through Mohawk as well. The other band, which was in southern Oneida County, is now in much of Madison and central Otsego County as we speak. Downtown Utica live view right now. The snow is not falling in the city right now, and in fact, temperatures are still hovering in the low 30s. So it's a cool start to the day today, and no, we're not looking like temperatures are going to warm up like we saw yesterday in the 50s and 60s. More so 30s, maybe 40 degrees today, but still plenty of sun this afternoon. So all this unsettled weather in the morning does end. However, will the rest of the week be warm? Will we see snow? Will we see rain? We'll have the latest forecast heading into the first week of April in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. While businesses are
The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this April 1st. And our photo of the day today takes us to a sunrise yesterday in Baldwinsville on Seneca River, taken by Yvette, of a sunrise before the morning rain showers rolled in. We had some partial clearing early yesterday, and you can see that in that view right there. So a shout out to the folks who still, although outside of our viewing area technically, watch us through streams and through the apps on in Baldwinsville. So a shout out to Baldwinsville early this morning. If you would like to submit a photo like this one, or what we are showing in the next few days, more blooming flowers as we enter April with the flowers starting to bloom as well, you can send it to wktv.com/weather/pics. So a couple lined up this week, but potentially more next week with the submissions you might be submitting over the next few days. Gary?
Eric, thanks. You know that teacher who really...
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone. We are tracking some snowfall, believe it or not, this morning. In fact, a live look at downtown Utica. Although the snow isn't falling in the city of Utica as we speak, some other spots in the area also witnessing some of that light snow, patchy ice, sleet, or I should say, and some drizzle as well. But a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are seeing some of these very narrow bands pass through the Mohawk Valley and south into parts of Otsego County this morning. This will eventually wind down over the next couple of hours. As you can see here, this is all driven by a northwesterly wind carrying some cool Canadian air over the warm lake waters of Lake Ontario as that cold front yesterday passed through central New York. Our sky watches this morning checking in across the area. Mike in New Hartford, 34 degrees. Todd out in Westdale with 33. Bill in Old Forge, 27. Sean in Inlet at 26. Deb in Harwick, 29. Scott in Evanston, 30. Stewart in Cooperstown and Gary in Skenevis, both with 32 degrees. Now the temperatures on average for the month of April go from an average high of 47 for the first to an average high of 61 by the 30th. Average low going above freezing for the first time in several months. On top of that, we are also beyond that tracking some increases in daylight, or specifically sunrise and sunset times. Look at this. A pre-6 a.m. sunset expected by the 30th and a post-8 p.m. sunset by the 30th as well. Overall, we gain an hour and 21 minutes of daylight. A few minutes less than March, but still, this is a significant amount of daylight in just only a span of 30 days. So we are seeing, of course, a return to more summer-like sunrises and sunsets. So the near term, although on average we're usually in the 40s and 50s, this next couple of weeks we're going to be cooler than average, at least trending that way. So don't put away those snow shovels and snow brushes just yet. We're not tracking anything significant in the near term, but we can't rule it out. At least we can't rule snow out with the overall pattern looking ahead to the next week or two of April. But in fact, in the nearer term today, plenty of sun moves in. Highs in the 30s. Tonight, 20s expected, increasing clouds. A dry start to your Wednesday, followed by increasing clouds, and then the arrival of widespread rain Wednesday night, potentially a wintry mix in the Adirondacks, and then scattered showers Thursday, followed by the potential for a round of thunderstorms Thursday evening. And so your 7-day forecast, it's a roller coaster of temperatures the next few days, but we've got sunshine, windy conditions this afternoon, and as you mentioned earlier, potentially a nice day on Friday, high 55 and some sunshine.
Get out and golf.
Yes.
Friday's the day. Eric, thanks. Well, our regional girls hockey team.
With Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And again, no joke, that band of snow this morning was pretty wild.
Hey, up here in Smithville, a dusting of snow on the ground makes you wonder, oh, is it February, is it March? No, it's April. Yeah, no fools today, but the sun is starting to peek out. That's the good news. Well, it is still on the colder side as we speak. Officially, 38-degree afternoon in Rome right now. 39 in Syracuse, the warmest temperature down in Poughkeepsie at 48. Saranac Lake, 27 with sunshine. So today, these clouds decrease. We'll see plenty of sun this afternoon. Weather quieting down after, yes, some early morning snow showers treat us the first day of April. The next 12 hours, we are expecting sunshine to stick around, a few clouds rolling in as we head into this evening. And as we look into tonight, we are looking at the arrival of some clouds. And beyond that, a gradual increase in temperatures. But by Wednesday, we have rain shower chances as well as maybe even some thunderstorm chances. A full look at that forecast coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. An update out of Oneonta this news.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Driving in this morning, at least me personally, I drove through some snow and sleet. Now, some of you did as well. A coating of snow in some higher elevation spots. Downtown Utica, though, no snow on the ground here. In fact, we're starting to see that stubborn cloud cover begin to move itself away as that northwest wind carries with it the drier air to eventually to the east. The Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar still picking up on some minor lake effect both north and directly south of central New York. But this, again, is going to continue to wind down throughout the day today as high pressure moves in. We got lots of clear skies over the Great Lakes right now. That is headed our way and will continue for much of the day today and through early tonight. By tomorrow, we'll see clouds increase as our next weather maker is out here in Iowa. It'll start out as wispy clouds and then give way to some rain and potentially a wintry mix in some higher elevations in the Adirondacks. So today, of course, April 1st, April Fools brought us some snowfall. I know Mother Nature decided to play a joke on us today, but what isn't a joke are the changing weather conditions expected at least on average for the first of the month through the 30th. Notice our average high goes from 47 to 61, average low above freezing. When it comes to sunrise and sunset times, we go from 6:42 to before 6 a.m. and then our sunset going to after 8 p.m. A lot of you are probably looking forward to that as we see a lot more daylight. Matter of fact, an hour and 21 minutes of additional daylight starting between now and the 31st, or I should say 30th. But the next few days, early part of the month, not really looking at a major heat wave. In fact, a bit of the opposite, a little bit of a cool down. Not a major cool down, but cooler than average temperatures in the 40s, some spots in the 30s. We'll be seeing a 50 or 60 degree day here and there, but overall the trend points to a cool start to the month. So today, sunshine has rolled in. Tonight, a few clouds passing over us, otherwise mainly quiet conditions. By tomorrow, passing clouds over us, temperatures in the 30s. And then by the evening, here comes that rain, widespread rain, a wintry mix potentially up in the Adirondacks. Then it's Thursday, on and off rain, rumbles of thunder, followed by the potential for some thunderstorms later on in the day. So your 7-day forecast, we've got that cool down today and tomorrow, windy conditions. Same thing on Thursday, although warmer, highs in the 60s. Potential for, of course, thunderstorms later on in the day. Then sunshine on Friday. So overall, a hit or miss this week when it comes to nice weather.
At least there's something to look forward to, right?
Yes.
Eric, thanks. Well, check this video out right
Full swing. Severe storms can happen fast, so stay on top of ever-changing winter weather with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis and meteorologists Eric Gage and James DeFazio. Tune in for up-to-the-second information that you need to keep your family safe and informed. With our experienced Storm Tracker 2 team, you'll get information that's accurate, dependable, and easy to understand. And don't forget to download the WKTV weather app and stay safe and informed on the go. The WKTV Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms.
Here's what you missed on the Talk of the Town.
And welcome back. Today, the Lebanese Health Ministry said that an Israeli airstrike killed. And switching gears, meteorologist Eric Gage joining us. And Eric, fresh off a trip all the way out west to
Westmoreland.
Wow.
It was a great trip out there. I got to meet some second graders and I got to talk about weather with them. In fact, a look at the second grade class, an amazing group of kids here, a lot of great questions. They were asking about tornadoes, what it's like working in weather, and we're very interested in learning about the processes that go into forecasting and whatnot. I also, while I was there, was able to show them an experiment, a pretty fun experiment, involving a water bottle and some beads rotating like a tornado. In fact, here's a look at the experiment we did here. I turned on this little spinner here. Now watch as a tornado forms here, right along this little narrow strip. See those beads coming down? And in this process, we explained how that forms. So Westmoreland second graders are now experts in forecasting tornadoes. So shout out to the school there this afternoon. Downtown Utica live view right now. We've got blue skies peeking out after an overcast and gloomy morning with some lake effect snow here and there. And temperatures are really not going to warm up all too much. Still in the 30s. If we're lucky, maybe 40 degrees today, but still plenty more sunshine this evening compared to this morning. We are tracking a gradual warm up tomorrow through Thursday, but will that stick around for the entire first half of April? We have a look at that long-range forecast for those temperatures coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Police out in California are...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone. After a cool, cloudy, windy start, well, the winds have continued. It's still cold, but a lot more sunshine starting to move in. A look at downtown Utica right now. Blue skies slowly inching their way into the Mohawk Valley. And this will be a common sight this afternoon and this evening. No more snow is expected later on in the day today, just increasing sunshine. But again, that cold does continue to stick around. Temperatures still hovering in the low to upper 30s in some parts of the area. Radar continuing to quiet down after, again, some of those snow bands were still stubborn this morning. And some locations actually getting a dusting of snow accumulated on your surfaces, mainly on cars and even driveways. But some of our sky watchers reported early this morning that didn't really accumulate on the grass all too much. So the bigger picture, here is that westerly wind, high pressure moving in. This over the Great Lakes is moving east, and we will see plenty of sun to start out the first day of April. Well, while we are on the topic of April, between now and the 31st, on average, we go from a high of 47 to a high of 61. So an overall warming trend expected. On top of that, our average low climbs above freezing for the first time in several months. But the most important thing, I feel, is going to be the changing times for sunrise and sunset. Our sunrise today was at 6:42. We're going to be sitting at a pre-6 a.m. sunrise. Then for sunset, we go from 7:27 to after 8 p.m. Early risers, great news for you. And those of you who like in later sunset, good news along that front as well. Picking up another hour and 21 minutes of daylight, just 7 minutes shy of March, which is the month we see the highest increase. Now, although we'll see a lot more daylight, and on average those temperatures rise throughout the month, at least for the first half of April, it's not really looking all too warm. Between now and the next 14 or so days, Climate Prediction Center has us at a cooler than average trend. The weather pattern doesn't really favor any major warm-ups. Not a whole lot of south wind is the main key here. We're seeing a lot of northwesterly, westerly winds, which means that it's still going to remain on the cooler side. Still warm days are possible here and there, but the overall average trend's cooler. So skycast today, sunshine giving way to a few clouds arriving tonight. And then by tomorrow, partly sunny skies initially, then mostly cloudy skies in the evening. Widespread rain moves through, potentially a wintry mix in the Adirondack area. Then in the afternoon, on Thursday, scattered rain showers, potential for a line of thunderstorms arriving heading into Thursday evening. So your 7-day forecast, roller coaster temperatures, pretty much has been on cue between March and now eventually April. Can't quite decide on if it's going to be warm or cold here and there, but 40s, 50s, 60s, you name it, April, the first week of April will have it. So
I think April's going to be a lot better than March. Watch.
I hope so.
That's for sure. Well, it is last call for Go.
Look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Okay, so it is sunny out, quite chilly.
Yeah, it's chilly out there. The sun does help a little bit, but the wind kind of takes it away. We're tracking quiet weather here, but this is also going to change. Not today, though. We're going to stay dry throughout the remainder of this evening. A live look at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. 39 degrees, but with that west wind, it feels like 30 degrees. So it's pretty chilly out there. Our weather headlines, we're tracking clouds tonight. The next weather system arrives tomorrow. It's going to bring us some rain late in the day, but we could be talking about a wintry mix north and east of Utica. A very brief period of some freezing rain possible in parts of the Adirondacks. This all leads to a very warm Thursday. Temperatures are going to skyrocket. Looks like another warm afternoon. Mostly sunny this evening. Temperatures in the 30s. So pretty chilly out there. We are tracking some pretty big swings in the temperature. We'll look at the forecasts coming up. Kristen, back to you.
A local radio station is expanding.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A beautiful day today. Of course, it was cold outside, but we did see the sunshine after a gloomy start. 39 degrees, the temperature in downtown Utica. It feels like low 30s with a west wind between about 10 to 20 miles an hour, a windy afternoon as expected. It is dry on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It did not start out that way. A lot of us woke up to a very light coating of snow on the ground. At first, it looked like a cruel April Fool's joke, but it is what it is. A lot of this did melt, though, and it didn't cause a problem. Let's talk about April's changing weather. We're still pretty chilly this time of the year. At the beginning of April, an average high of 47. By the end of the month, it goes up to 61. So it becomes a lot more comfortable, a lot warmer here over the next couple of weeks. The average low 30 becomes 41 as we get closer to the end of the frost season. We are looking at big changes in daylight. In fact, by the end of the month, the sunset will be 8 o'clock, and we gain 1 hour and 21 minutes of daylight throughout the month of April. Temperatures this evening in the 30s, Westmoreland 38 degrees, Little Falls 43, Otter Lake 34, across the Southern Valley, Sherburne 42, Cooperstown 39, Oneonta with 37. High pressure temporarily in control of our weather. As we go to the west, we see changes. The next wave of low pressure is moving in. This is going to bring clouds along with a cold rain as we head into late Wednesday. As this interacts with very cold weather, some of this does fall as a very brief period of a wintry mix north and east of Utica late tomorrow. Tonight, overnight lows drop into the 20s, increasing clouds. Tomorrow, we start out with mostly cloudy skies. It's a chilly day. Temperatures will be in the 30s most of the day, with an east wind. It's going to make it feel like upper 20s to low 30s. It's dry for the majority of the day, but after 5 o'clock, that's when rain starts to move in. Notice some pink showing up. That's a light period of freezing rain to the north and east of Utica. That is possible, though we could have a few slippery spots. Rain tomorrow night, rain Thursday morning. A cold front arrives Thursday afternoon, and it produces a line of heavy showers and even a few thunderstorms, especially south and east of Utica. Before that arrives, temperatures could briefly hit 70 degrees on Thursday afternoon. A far cry from the low 20s we're going to be seeing tonight, cloudy skies. Tomorrow, rain develops late in the day, a chilly 39. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. We're up to 70 on Thursday, so that's a remarkable turnaround, but it doesn't last. Cold front arrives Thursday afternoon. We're into the 50s on Friday. A cold rain is expected both Saturday and Sunday. Even some snow showers returning early Monday. Temperatures chilly again on Tuesday with highs in the 30s. We've seen a lot more swings in the temperature here this week.
I choose 70.
You don't get
There
to
you
pick.
Dang it. All right, thanks, Bill. Volatile.
Cleaning feel,
Oh,
that vibe
feels
is
good,
in the
doesn't
air.
it?
Now we need spring.
Well, that's the challenging part, right? Hey, we've got some chilly weather around tomorrow, but it is going to warm up, and it's this clash in temperature, these big swings in temperature, that is partially responsible for the wind. We're going to see more wind tomorrow as well as Thursday. You know, the old saying, March is in like a lion, out like a lamb. Well, it's the lamb kind of shows up later here. It's more like late April. It's going to be pretty windy for the next couple of weeks. It's not until the middle to end of April that we really start to get out of that windy part of the year. Look at these swings in temperature. Tomorrow we're in the upper 30s. By Thursday we're 70, but that doesn't last. We're down into the 50s Friday, and it's chillier heading into Saturday and Sunday. But we will get a taste of spring again Thursday afternoon. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's dry. Great evening to take the dog out for a walk. A little chilly out there, but the winds will be settling down as we get into this evening. Temperatures will be in the 30s. Tonight's featured dog, Susie from Deerfield. This is brought to you by Nissan. We're tracking some wet weather beginning tomorrow night. Look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
The Fenimore Art Museum opened its
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Beautiful day today. Very cold outside, but it is nice to see the sunshine after a gloomy start. This is a live look in Oneonta. Some high clouds are spilling in. Just a beautiful evening here. Again, chilly temperatures. Most of us are in the 30s. We'll drop into the 20s tonight. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across the region. We're getting into that time of the year. We're coming out of the winter season, and our bodies can now start to naturally produce vitamin D by being outside due to the sun angle. That was not the case for the past several months. There's something called the 37th parallel. It's a position of latitude that separates locations north of this line have a hard time producing vitamin D in the winter versus south of this line where your body can still do that. But now we can all enjoy a little bit of vitamin D by being outdoors safely, of course. The sun angle gets pretty high this time of the year going forward, and then we start to have to worry about getting a sunburn. Over the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, the weather is trending colder than average. The overall outlook is for a colder than average start to April, but there's going to be a lot of ups and downs along the way, and we've got a pretty dramatic 48 hours worth of temperature to go along with that. Whitesboro, 38 degrees, Micah, New Hartford, 39, Norway, 42, Westford, 38, and Worcester with 44 degrees. Chilly weather today. Chilly tomorrow. The next weather system fast approaching from the west. This will bring us clouds tomorrow along with the rain tomorrow night. Temperatures drop into the upper 20s tonight. Tomorrow we start out with mostly cloudy skies. It is a cold, breezy day with highs only in the 30s. Wednesday afternoon, the weather remains dry. Wednesday evening, that's when the weather starts to change. A round of rain arrives across the Mohawk Valley. This does turn into a wintry mix across the Adirondacks, even some light icing possible in parts of Hamilton County. We're tracking rain Thursday morning, and then a warm front lifts to the north. We're talking about temperatures in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees Thursday afternoon before a strong cold front arrives, and that could bring a round of heavier rain, gusty winds, and some thunderstorms, especially south and east of Utica. Cooler weather to follow on Friday. Tonight, cloudy, low temperature of 22. Tomorrow, it's cloudy most of the day, but rain does develop late. High of only 39. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. We're up to 70 Thursday, so a remarkable turnaround. It's windy throughout this entire stretch. Thunderstorms expected Thursday afternoon. Friday, sunshine 55. We're tracking rain over the weekend. Colder weather with highs in the 40s. Rain and snow showers Monday. We're only into the mid-30s looking ahead to Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Tracking a chilly day today as expected. Clear skies across the region tonight, and it's going to stay dry. This is a live look at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. 39 degrees, the current temperature. It's really dry. The dew point 15. Relative humidity 38%. With that west wind, it feels like 30. So it's going to be chilly tonight. Clouds will be returning overnight, and it's going to be unsettled tomorrow. In fact, it could be seeing a wintry mix for areas north and east of Utica. So the coldest pockets of the Adirondacks could see a light wintry mix late tomorrow. A very significant warm-up is expected looking ahead to Thursday. A nice taste of spring is back in the forecast. Mostly sunny this evening, temperatures in the upper 30s. We're tracking some pretty big swings in the temperature over the next couple of days. So look at the forecasts coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Murnane Field is a construction.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Lots of sunshine today, but it's chilly. Temperatures in the 30s this evening. A live look in downtown Utica, 39 degrees, but again, a bright, sunny afternoon and a sunny evening is to be expected. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet. Didn't start out this way. We had some snow first thing in the morning. It's a very light lake effect snow showers. Kind of a cruel April Fool's joke played on Mother Nature. Of course, it didn't last for very long, and we were back to sunshine just a couple of hours later. Let's talk about April's changing weather. It's still very cold this time of the year. The average high 47 on April 1st. That becomes 61 by the end of the month, so it gets a lot warmer and a lot less chilly, especially at night. The average low is 30, and by the end of the month, it's 41. We start breaking out of the frost season pretty soon. Well, soon enough, I should say. Our last frosts of the season are usually in late May, but we'll be getting a lot less of them going forward. In terms of daylight, we gain an hour and 20 minutes of daylight in the month of April, and in fact, by the end of the month, we're close to 8 o'clock sunsets. So a lot to look forward to as we get into the warmer season. Whitesboro, 38 degrees. Mike and New Hartford, 39. Helen and Cassville, 36. Jeff and Mohawk, 43 degrees. Just a chilly day. Skidivas, 43. Worcester, 44. The next weather system approaches from the west. It's another area of low pressure that will be bringing us clouds tomorrow, wind, and eventually a cold rain as we head into tomorrow night. Some places that's more than a cold rain. It's actually a wintry mix in Hamilton County. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight. Clouds will be returning. Overnight lows drop down into the 20s. Tomorrow it's dry, but it's cloudy and it's chilly. Temperatures will only be in the upper 30s with a very noticeable east wind. Tomorrow night, the weather changes. We're expecting a warm front to move in. Widespread rain is expected. Notice some pinks showing up north and east of Utica. Some light icing is possible in the colder pockets of the Adirondacks. Thursday morning, still wet, but a warm front lifts north and temperatures rebound. We're going to skyrocket to near 70 degrees Thursday afternoon before a strong cold front arrives, bringing with it heavy rain, gusty winds, and even a few rumbles of thunder, along with a big drop in the temperature beginning Friday. Cloudy skies tonight, a low of 22. Tomorrow, clouds hang around. Rain develops late in the day, a chilly high of 39. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast up to 70 Thursday. Showers, a few rumbles of thunder possible. Friday, sunshine 55. The weather turns cloudy and wet over the weekend, highs in the 40s, and don't think we're done with seeing some snow, release some snow showers. Monday's high only 44.
Wow. Yeah, waking up to it today, I was shocked.
It's
I mean,
hard
not
to
that
see
I
again.
didn't know it was. I mean,
We knew.
We
but
knew, but it's.
Doesn't make it any
April.
easier.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Bill. Still the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Yeah, there was a little bit of frost out there. A little more than frost. There was some snow out
Yeah.
there this morning.
Mother Nature's cruel joke to play on us in
April
1st.
Fools.
Yeah, especially after yesterday we were 70 degrees. To
I
go
know.
from that to this. Yeah, we're going to go back to the warm weather. So we're doing this swing, this pendulum swing here this week. It looks like Thursday we'll be making a run towards 70 degrees. It'll be chilly, though, before that happens. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's dry. It's clear. Our temperature, 29 degrees. A light north wind at 7 miles an hour, making it feel like low 20s. We'll stay dry tonight. Tomorrow, another chilly day. Highs only in the upper 30s. But look at Thursday. We're up to 70. It doesn't last, but it is going to come with some weather. Some showers and thunderstorms expected. Cooler weather Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as we drop into the 50s and 40s. Clouds return tonight, low temperature of 22. Again, we're tracking some big swings in the temperature along with some thunderstorms in the forecast. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Decision 2020.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. It's chilly out there, 29 degrees. It's been a cold day today after seeing some sunshine, after a very cloudy start. Skies are clear for now, but we are watching some clouds that will be advancing in from the west tonight. Will be dry overnight and into first thing tomorrow morning. Let's talk about April. We are now in that transition month where it starts to really get warmer, where we get more consistent warm weather. The beginning of the month still pretty rough for our average high 47. By the end of the month, it's up to 61. The average low of 30 becomes 41 by the end of the month. We'll get less frost towards the end of the month, but we never really climb out of the frost season until May. The sunrise this morning, 6:42, the sunset 7:27. By the end of the month, the sunrise becomes earlier than 6 and later than 8 p.m. We gain an hour and 20 minutes of daylight throughout the month. It looks cold, though. Tomorrow, a chilly day. We warm up Thursday, but the long range is looking colder than average as we head into the next 1 to 2 weeks. Bigger picture shows the next area of low pressure approaches from the west. It brings clouds and a cold rain to our area. Tonight, clouds thicken up. Overnight lows drop down into the low 20s. Tomorrow, it's a mostly cloudy day. Temperatures climb into the upper 30s. It's windy and it's just a chilly day. Widespread rain is expected to develop tomorrow night. It's expected to mix with some freezing rain in pockets of the Adirondacks, like Hamilton County. Thursday morning, a warm front rolls through. It's wet in the morning, and then it dries out. Temperatures are expected to catapult to near 70 degrees. A cold front arrives Thursday evening. This produces gusty winds, locally heavy rain, and we could see a few thunderstorms with that. This front will push to the south, and our weather will start to dry out and cool down as we head into Thursday night. Cloudy skies tonight, low temperature of 22. Tomorrow, rain develops late, 39 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. We are tracking, again, a big swing in temperature, 70 on Thursday, 55 Friday. The weekend looks chilly and wet with temperatures in the 40s Saturday and Sunday. Rain and snow showers look to return. Looking ahead to Monday, chilly on Tuesday, only a high of 34.
I hate to say this and be a Debbie Downer here, but that's a terrible weather pattern we're in right now.
Yeah, we get one really nice day.
Yeah.
That's all I got?
That's all we got. That's all right. Well, it'll get better eventually, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Bill. Coming up next, for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Karnes. Say it ain't snow.
You know, it's funny. Many of us get excited about snow in November, December.
Maybe even January.
Maybe January.
Those that have snow as a full-time job, they love snow. This
true,
wasn't anything that we could use.
Exactly. Yeah, this is just kind of like meh. This was, especially after yesterday. It was in the 70s yesterday.
Yeah.
Today, saw snow this morning. Mother Nature's cruel April Fool's joke. We're probably not done with this. I think there's going to be a few chances ahead to see this, but it's going to be a lot like this morning where it's just around and not really much of a nuisance. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar is pretty quiet out there. Some high clouds are starting to spill in from the west. Temperatures are chilly, 30 degrees at Griffiths and Rome, north wind at 7 miles an hour. We're dry, we'll stay dry tonight, but that's going to change. The next weather system rolls in, and it's going to bring a big change in temperature. It's going to be chilly tomorrow, but Thursday we're up to 70. So we go from 39 to 70 degrees before the weather starts to cool down as we head towards the weekend. We cloud up tonight, a low temperature of 22. Tracking these swings in temperature along with rain chances. A look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Decision 20.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Karnes.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. It's cold out there tonight. We have some high clouds working in. A temperature of only 30 degrees in downtown Utica. We're looking at dry weather tonight. The chill is going to settle in and stick around for tomorrow, and we won't see the sunshine that we saw today, so it's going to feel pretty chilly out there. April's changing weather. We made it to April. The average high temperature today, 47. By the end of the month, that goes up to 61, and we will notice much less cold days ahead as we head into the next couple of weeks. The average low goes from 30 to 41, so we get a lot less freezes by the end of the month. We still have freezes even into May, but they become a lot less frequent. Also, too, when we talk about daylight changes, we see a significant amount of increased daylight in the month of April. We go from a 6:42 sunrise to a 5:55 sunrise, so the sunrise becomes before 6 o'clock by the end of the month, and the sun sets after 8 p.m. towards the end of the month. So again, very long days. We gain an hour and 20 minutes of daylight throughout the month. So what's the weather trending? Well, it's looking colder than average here. This weather pattern is going to prevail for about the next 1 to 2 weeks. There will be some warm days sprinkled in, but it looks like the chillier weather is going to win out. And it starts tomorrow, or I should say it continues tomorrow. Cloudy skies. This area of low pressure will move in from the west, and that'll be our next weather maker for tomorrow afternoon. Increasing clouds overnight. Temperatures drop into the 20s. We'll see mostly cloudy skies throughout the day tomorrow. It's chilly, it's windy, and again, it's not sunny, so dress appropriately. Make sure you have the winter jacket handy. Rain is expected to arrive after dark, and it looks to fall as a wintry mix in some of the pockets of the Adirondacks. So there could be a few slippery spots in Hamilton County. This is all part of a warm front. The warm air lifts up north as we head into Thursday. We start out with rain, and then we'll get some breaks in the overcast, maybe even some sunshine. And temperatures are going to skyrocket. We could be looking at highs near 70 degrees Thursday afternoon before a cold front arrives, bringing with it some heavier downpours, gusty winds, and maybe even some thunderstorms later in the day. Cooler weather to follow heading into Friday. Cloudy skies tonight, low temperature of 22. Tomorrow, we're looking at just a chilly, windy, cloudy day and a high of only 39. The rain looks to return late in the day. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. It remains windy Thursday, but it's a warm wind. 70 for the high. Showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder late. Friday, 55, partly sunny. Wet weather over the weekend, chilly temperatures in the 40s. Rain and snow showers return Monday.
I appreciate you wanting to finish the show for me, but my voice is fine.
Okay.
I made it.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, Bill. Coming up next.